Now, this is a video that is making rounds on social media, and it is said that this is the video that led to the unleavening of Malawi Vice President Saulos Chilima. So we're just going to analyze this video to see if these claims are really true.
President, in essence, we are saying, for all he wants, the president can be corrupt for as long as he's in office. Don't touch him. Or her. But when they come out of office, then you can touch them.
All right. Before we continue with this one, I'm just going to give you a backstory to see what Saulos Chilima was saying in this video. Remember, the Vice President Saulos Chilima and President Chakwera went into an alliance before the election, and it is this alliance that won them, or that got them into power. So the agreement was this: President Chakwera would be president for one term, then the next term Saulos Chilima would become the president. But it is said that President Chakwera shifted the goalposts and he wanted a second term. Then we saw Saulos Chilima being persecuted and prosecuted, facing corruption charges. And then last month, we saw these charges being dropped. Anti-corruption advocates worry over dropping of Malawi VP case. Now, these corruption charges had been running since November 2022. He was named among 84 individuals suspected to have received bribes from a UK-based businessman, Zenet Sattar. Now, with these corruption charges off his back, it meant that Saulos Chilima could run for presidency in the next election, right? So out that. Now, these charges were dropped last month in May. Another incident that has been linked to this Saulos Chilima saga is this accident we saw happening in 2020. Malawi Vice President survives a fatal accident. We saw Saulos Chilima surviving a fatal accident in 2020. It may be related, it may not be related. Accidents are normal. Accidents do happen. But what is not normal is plane crashes. Plane crashes are normal, but not so often. They don't happen oftenly. So we have now these two things. We have the corruption case, then we have the 2020 accident. Again, in Malawi, President Chakwera has been criticized for dictatorial tendencies. We'll get there in a little bit. So a lot of stories and a lot of controversy, a lot of what do we call this? A lot of conspiracy theories have been surfacing on the social media, on the internet. Then we saw this one: diplomats caution on VP's death, conspiracy theories. Now, who are these diplomats who are cautioning on Vice President conspiracy theories? I'm just going to read a little bit. Diplomats have cautioned against a wave of conspiracy theories surrounding the Malawi Defense Force plane crash that killed President Saulos Chilima and 8 others on Monday. The diplomats say assertions have the potential to create tensions. As such, they have called for restraint among political leaders and citizens to ensure peace and stability. Of course, that is very, very true. Yes, they do that. But we have Zimbabwe Ambassador Nancy Saungweme raised fears at a meeting in Lilongwe yesterday to strategize on the support the respective foreign governments can provide to Malawi following this tragedy, right? And then we see the opposition pushing Malawian president to probe into the death of this Malawian vice president. And yes, Malawi opposition party seeks UN to help in vice president death probe. During the Saulos Chilima eulogy, we saw President Chakwera being booed by the audience. Then he called upon the United Nations, the SADC and the AU to support for a proper closure on the accident. He asked for international support, right? That is all pressure. Of course, when a happening like this happens, obviously there is pressure. Now, let us go to this video and see how much damning it is, if it is worth making someone unalive for.
President, in essence, we are saying, for all he wants, the president can be corrupt for as long as he's in office. Don't touch him. Oh, wow. But when they come out of office, then you can touch them. And the president is allowed two consecutive 5-year terms to make it 10 years if you're going to be successful. So if the president was a thief, okay, as we have seen in some cases, you are giving him a blank.
All right. He's speaking a hypothesis. If the president was a thief, then he interjects himself, as we have seen in some cases.
Check to be stealing for 10 years, within which period they can't be asked any question. It's a very strange provision, and that's why some of us think that it must be scrapped. People must be investigated, regardless whatever position they hold. I mean, a president, a vice, and they get tax-free benefits. Salaries are tax-free. Whatever you eat is taxpayers' money. And then on top of that, you must steal the same tax. And further to that, you're also immune. So you can steal freely for as long as you're president, and nobody will touch you. They only touch you when you're out of office. Ridiculous. I think that must be amended so that we start dealing with it. Remove that. Politically connected people get contracts. I was talking about the COVID, and nobody has come to contest this. You know that in the COVID, search for personal protection equipment, ministers were sourcing quotations. And where is it written anywhere that a minister is responsible for sourcing quotations for supplies? But why is that? It's because we have said the politically connected can benefit, and all they will say is this is a cabinet decision, and you have got no basis to go and question whether it was indeed a cabinet discussion. Who are going to go and ask? And instead, the president has directed. Do you have the president's phone number to confirm whether he has indeed directed or not? So, chop some of the things that we can see, and make sure that they don't have too many powers to continue doing certain things.
All right. I'm just going to rewind this video a little bit. When was this video made is the main question.
President, in essence, we are saying, for all he wants, the president can be corrupt for as long as he's in office. Don't touch him. Oh, wow. But when they come out of office, then you can touch them. And the president is allowed two consecutive 5-year terms to make it 10 years if you're going to be successful. So if the president was a thief, okay, as we have seen in some cases, you are giving him a blank check to be stealing for 10 years, within which period they can be asked any question. It's a very strange provision, and that's why some of us think that it must be scrapped. People must be investigated, regardless whatever position they hold. I mean, the president, the vice, they get tax-free benefits. salaries are taxed. Whatever you eat is taxpayers' money. And then on top of that, you must steal the same tax. And further to that, you're also immune. So you can steal freely for as long as you're president and nobody will touch you. They only touch you when you're out of office. Ridiculous. I think that must be amended so that we start dealing with it. Remove that. Politically connected people get contracts. I was talking about the COVID and nobody has come to contest this.
All right, here he's saying, I was talking about the COVID and nobody has come to contest this. So COVID, when did COVID happen? COVID-19 happened sometime in 2020. I think it's March 2020. COVID-19 began in March 2020. Then the Malawian election where we saw the Tonse Alliance was held on 23 June 2020. So it is possible that this was a campaign video where the Vice President of Malawi, Saulos Chilima, was talking about the last president of Malawi before Lazarus Chakwera. It is possible because here he mentions something to do with COVID-19. We all know COVID-19 was discovered in China in December 2019. Then from January, February, March, that's when it began to spread to the entire world. Now, he mentions COVID-19. So it is possible that this is an old video. But is it an old video? Let's rewind a little bit here and continue.
Touch you. They only touch you when you're out of office. Ridiculous. I think that must be amended so that we start dealing with it. Remove that. Politically connected people get contracts. I was talking about the COVID and nobody has come to contest this. You know that in the COVID, search for personal protection equipment, ministers were sourcing quotations. And where is it written anywhere that a minister is responsible for sourcing quotations for supplies? But why is that? It's because we have said the politically connected can benefit, and all they will say is this is a cabinet decision, and you have got no basis to go and question whether it was indeed a cabinet discussion. Who are going to go and ask?
All right. COVID-19 are protective equipment and protective things. So it's highly likely that this is an old video. However, this old video makes for such a nice conspiracy. I'm not denying the possibility of there being some foul play here, but this video doesn't seem to cut it. It is an old video from the COVID-19 era before the Tonse Alliance would get into power. However, this Tonse Alliance, where President Chakwera, Lazarus Chakwera, and Saulos Chilima were in alliance, was set to expire in 2025, where we were going to see a new election in Malawi, and obviously Saulos Chilima was going to stand for the presidency. So right about now, I'm going to sign out here. What is your opinion on this one? I'm going to leave it to you. Leave your answer in the comment section below, and I'll read the comments in the next